Even though market volatility is a normal part of investing, it can be difficult to navigate, even for the most experienced investors. However, history shows that the market is ultimately resilient, and those who stay invested over the long term, they're often rewarded. We're joined again by certified financial planner Will Rogers to talk about dealing with market volatility. Hey, good to see you, and along with Baxter as well.
Yeah, no, we're here, and you know, Baxter's shaking a little bit. You know, when you talk about the markets going up and down, and
step in line there, B.
Well, and you know, just a month ago we had some really shaky times. You know, think back to Masters Week, and
right.
Just the volatility we're going through. Here we've bounced back. I think this is a phenomenal time to talk about this because it's in recent memory that we had that significant volatility, and now is the time to do something about it. And when I say now, it's after the markets have recovered.
So let's talk about the main factors here that we need to consider.
All right, so when you're looking at market volatility, first off, you want to see what are you getting into with the market? What kind of volatile things are happening right now where you're prepared for that? Then as you get into the market, you really want to have your portfolio managed the way you thought it through in advance. And when it's done, again, like today, there's some key questions we're going to have the viewers ask, which get down to, did my plan work the way I thought it would? And if it didn't, what changes do you need to make to that plan?
It sounds like Baxter's got his own microphone. Let's talk about that first one there off of the list here, how to prepare for market volatility.
Well, as you're looking at your portfolio, you really want an all-season portfolio. So if things are good, it should be doing well. If things are bad, it should be doing well. This comes to diversification and asset allocation based on your risk tolerance. As you're looking at the portfolio that you would have, you may have some equities, you may have some fixed investments, you may have some cash. As you go into the portfolio or into a market decline, you should know the drops that you're expecting. So as you have that drop, you're riding it through, and the diversified portfolio is what should pull you through on that. Now, when you're in there, you don't want to be making rash decisions. You don't want to be making emotional decisions. That is not the time to be making changes for your portfolio. You want to manage it through the way you went in.
Okay, and I think we've got some screens here, pointers that we're talking about at the same time, too. Let's talk about the second part here. When you're in the volatile market, what can you do?
No, once you're in it, this is where you're taking a look at buying the dip is something that folks will take a look at doing. They'll also take a look at keeping your diversification, but what you really don't want to do is panic and get out of it. So if you're regularly rebalancing your portfolio, that's going to cover it. If you've got that cash reserve to ride through it, what you benefit from by having that cash is if you need to take withdrawals from your portfolio, that cash can be the source. So strategically withdrawing money from cash or assets that are not down, and this is where it's so handy. If you've got a reliable income,
right.
if it's a government pension, if you've got some just regular income that's coming in, that can take the stress off of your portfolio of not having to sell in a down market.
Okay, good thing to know. Now, the key questions. These are the ones that we need to ask ourselves. Are we prepared? Have we done what we need to do? What are these?
Well, in a sense, you know, think about the past month. You just got kicked in the gut. Okay, you should expect that in the market. The volatility we had in the market is normal volatility. It was about 20% down from the peak, just barely. And as we have that, can you handle that? Have you built your portfolio for that kind of volatility?
Okay.
If that was too much for you, then you need to ask what other options are available. Now, the problem with the other options is if you go too conservative, you might not hit your long-term goals. If you go too aggressive, you might get kicked in the gut harder. So you want to have your portfolio prepared for these different market cycles where it can grow, that you can stay invested. You know, if you're going to be riding the bull, so to speak, turn that dial down so you can stay on for the full ride and not get bucked off halfway through.
Okay, all right. And yeah, you've seen the questions right there, too. Great things to keep in mind here, Will. And we've got some other great topics that we're going to be talking about as well in the next coming weeks, too. So can't wait to see you.
Yeah, it'll be good stuff. And I know you got some travel coming up, but interesting things all around.
Always, always. And traveling will actually be part of that as well a little bit later on, too.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And good to see you, Baxter. Calm down.
Good having him here.
Okay.